Okay, so minimize this. You may add these notes if you need it. These 3 bullets we should be able to do. This skill is not new. It's just now asking you to do a system of inequalities versus just one equality. All right, so rearrange the inequality. So y is by itself. You have to have it in mx plus b form in order to graph. So make sure you can able to do that. Solving for y, you're going to continue to do that all year long. And then we're going to need to find where the sections, where the graph overlaps. So whenever we're graphing, I'm just going to put a little side note over here. That's when we're going to have to shade above or below, depending on the inequality that's in your problem. I'll scroll up. Okay. So we're going to practice graphing inequalities. This is pretty much the end of the unit. I'm going to give you your table of contents. I'll give you a copy of it. There's one item that we haven't done, but we'll do that after the test. Okay, so there'll be one color paper we're going to add to it at the very end. We're going to find, when we shade, we want to find the overlapping solution. So when they say overlapping here, okay, that's overlapping with our shaded. So we're going to go through some examples together. I'm going to stamp this in class to check your understanding. We need to do our graphs and our inequalities one at a time. Okay. So starting, I'm just going to scroll up here. On this first one, we have y minus 3x is greater than 2. Can we graph that? No, why not? You got to solve for y. Okay, so how do we show solving for y? All right, write that on your paper. Plus 3x. Plus 3x. So what would we write here now? Mm-hmm. Yep, 3x plus 2. Now it's ready to graph. So where do we start on our graph? Positive 2 on the y-axis. How do we move from that point up? How many? 1. Okay, 1, 2, 3 to the right 1. All right. Or I can count down 1, 2, 3 to the left 1. Yeah. Yeah, I did. Okay, we need to, I'm gonna get my ruler too. Okay, so I'm going to take my ruler. Let me get mine up here. And we're going to line it up on our points. What type of line for a, yeah, this is going to be dash. All right, so, oops. Let me rotate it so they line up. Right through there. Where am I off how?
We put a dotted line there.
Yep, dotted line. I have no idea what's going on there.
He's fighting at me.
Okay, so dotted line. Alright, oops, there's a delay. Sorry about that. No, there's a closet. It's a storage closet, yeah. Okay, so because of this symbol here, in case y'all forgot, because of that symbol, it's going to be dash or dotted. And then how do we shade for this symbol? Yeah, it's greater, so we have to shade above, okay? So I'm just going to write shade above. All right, so I'm going to take my highlighter. You can take your pencil or whatever. I'm doing highlighter so we can see, because we're going to have two regions here. So here's shading above, sorry. Okay, there you go. That's it. Just get a region showing the shade above. All right. Oh, whoa, whoa, no. Okay, so 3y is less than or equal to negative 2x minus 6. This one right here, again, we haven't, it's not solving for y. Who knows what needs to be done to get it isolated?
Divided by 3.
Yeah, divide everything by 3. Good eye. Let's go. So y is less than or equal to a negative 2/3 x minus 2. That is our inequality we're graphing and shading. All right, so I'm going to start at a negative 2 on the y-axis. I'm going to move down 2 to the right 3. Or I'm going up 2 to the left 3. We're going to line up our ruler. There we go. And then what type of line is this one going to be? Solid. Yeah, solid. All right, so I'm going to get my solid line. Okay. But on this graph, how are we going to shade for this symbol? Yeah, we're going to shade below. Okay, so I'm going to get a different color, guys. So the key is to find where the shading would overlap. Okay, so I'm going to do blue for my second one. And hopefully, if I'm below, it's here. And my yellow and blue make green. So there's my overlapping region where it gets darker. Y'all see where it gets darker? Okay, so this is our solution. This whole region. So what we're going to put, guys, where they overlap, you're going to put a big capital S for solution. Okay? Big capital S, where always show that S where they overlap. I don't know why I did that.
I'm gonna need that.
Yeah, okay. So the solution is everywhere overlaps, okay? Yeah, so when you check the point, it has to be in that overlapping. So when I check this point, 5,1, 5,1 is over here. It's not in that overlapping section. So this is not a solution. That point is no. Okay? For it to be a solution, it has to be somewhere in this region where they overlap. All right, once you have this, flip it over. Let's try another one. Like I said, I'm going to check your graphs today in class. All right, so let's look at the graph in the upper left-hand corner. I don't know why it's doing that. I might have to reconnect. All right, can we start and just straight graph? No. What should we do first? Y'all see? No, subtract. Yeah, add the 5. Let's fix that. Add the 5. Let me show it up here. Plus 5. Plus 5. Okay, there it is. Now, when you add it, you now have y is less than 1/2 x plus 5. Let me see if I do this. Hold on just a second. I'm curious if I do that. If it will connect now.
I'm sorry, Philip. Are you talking to?
There it goes. Okay, that's better. All right, so on here we're starting at 5 on the y-axis. And how are we moving?
Up one to the right.
Up 1 to the right 2. There's my next point. Up 1 to the right 2. or I can go down one to the left 2, and then we should have a dashed line. So let me get my ruler.
Okay, but I probably failed that test. Why are you complaining? Yeah, go start to pick it up. It was.
All right, I'm gonna do my dash line.
I have a sheet.
Oops.
Oh my.
Okay, so where are we shading here? Yeah, below. So I need to move my ruler out the way. Take my highlighter. I'm gonna shade everything below.
I was pretty struggling.
We know you're struggling.
Shh, guys. Now, for the second equation, we gotta solve for y here. Who knows what our first step would be? Yeah, minus 4x, not 4. This is the things that make errors, guys. You gotta write the number and the coefficient, and which is a number, and the variable. Okay, so what do I write now?
Negative EY is less than negative 4x plus 6.
Yeah,
I've been thinking about that. Divide by
yep. Divide everything by -8 each term. But yes, because we're dividing by negative, we have to flip the symbol. This reduces to 1/2 x minus 2. This is our second inequality that we're going to put on the same graph. Start at -2.
Up one to the right two.
Up 1 to the right. What do we notice about these lines?
They're parallel.
Yep, they are parallel.
My yellow?
Okay, so to shade this line, this inequality, I'm going to go for a different color. This is greater than that symbol right there. So that means I have to shade above the line. Okay. And we are looking for where the shading overlaps. I don't know if you see right here, my yellow and blue make green. Okay. Where it gets dark, that is our solution. So inside of here, I'm just going to put my S to show the solution is in between the lines. Okay, I'm going to the second one at the top. Okay, we're gonna do the top together and then we're gonna check our bottom. Okay, we need to solve for y.
If it's a dotted line,
No, it's not. Yeah, if it's on the dotted line, it's not part of the solution set. Okay. What would be our first step to solve for y here?
minus 2x inside.
So negative y is less than or equal to negative 2x plus 4. Can we leave it like that?
No.
Good. So divide by -1, and what's gonna happen here?
Y, flip the thing.
Okay, y is now greater than or equal to positive 2x minus 4. That's our new inequality. So start at -4, and we're gonna move a slope of 2. So up 2 to the right 1. Or down 2 to the left 1.
John Moore.
John.
All right, we're gonna have a solid line. Alright, but don't forget your shading. For this inequality, oh, that should have been yellow. Where do we shade here?
Below, above.
Above. Greater than is above. So please get shading above this line. You don't have to fill everything in. Just get the region identified. All right, now we're going to do the second line.
It's very much almost gone.
So what we need to do for the second line? Minus 5x. That's going to leave you 3y is greater than or equal to negative 5x plus 9. Then what? Divide every term by 3. So y is greater than or equal to a negative 5/3 x plus 3. Yes. We start at positive 3. There's our point. How do we move from that point?
Down.
Yeah. All right, we have a solid line here. I'm just gonna, oops.
What, Daniel? Chrissy crossing.
There we go. All right, how are we shading?
Coming to the right.
Yeah, greater is above to the right. So I'm gonna get a different color here. I'm shading here. But your solution is only here. At that little triangle.
Wait, can we use markers as highlights?
Yeah, you can use those.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing.
Okay, so if I check this point 1, negative 7, well, that's obviously not over here. So no, yeah, it's not. Okay, so make sure you put the capital S. So when I check, I'm going to come back because I want you to try the next one on the bottom left. And then we're going to check your bottom right. Check. If you have the idea, you have a hang of what we're doing, go ahead and do them. I need to see the capital S though. Capital S where the solution would be. Okay, make sure, look, if you're just using your pencil, you have to see where they get darker when you overlap. That's why I'm saying you need to put a capital S where the two regions overlap to show the solution. So check your first step for the last graph, guys. Check that you are solving for y correctly. Huh. Just once you got your stamp, it's gonna go in your spiral. So guys, you will have, I think 2 or 3, I think it's 3 inequalities on the quiz, but you don't have to graph them. They're already graphed. You're picking, like, if it's a solution, you're picking if it's the correct equation. So check your work. So you are finishing the inequalities. So this pretty much wraps up the unit. I passed out the packet, which is your test review.
How many word problems are there?
There's gonna be 2 word problems. One where it's gonna be like the quiz. On the quiz, one where you have to solve it, and one where you have to pick the right setup. Yeah.
Wait, 6 quiz, right?
Yep. Unit 6, quiz 1.
Okay.